Hey, what's up guys, welcome back to another episode of the Minecraft Survival Let's Play. So I'm kind of in the same position that I was in last week, where I really don't have too much time to record this episode. I've got to get the full episode recorded in one day, so I've only got a few hours. So what I want to do is build another farm over in the farming district, and I was looking through the chest a little bit just to see what kind of farms I need, and I found one in the food chest right here. So even though I think this is episode 29 or something like that, I still don't have a pumpkin or melon farm. I feel like these are quite basic farms that everyone usually builds quite early on in their world, so I don't know why I don't have any of them yet. So I've decided that's what I'm going to be building today, and I do have a bit of an idea for how I want them to look. So I'm just going to get some of the resources together that I need, and then I'm going to head over to the farming district. Okay, I'm over here in the farming district, and I've actually gone ahead and built the melon farm already. And I just want to quickly mention before I start this little segment over here, you're just going to have to deal with this lag. I can't really do much about it. It's just this sheep farm over here. There's so many sheep and hoppers and stuff like that. This thing causes loads of lag around here. I think what I'm going to do is stay AFK over in the centre as much as I can over the next few weeks. And then once I've got all of the storage full down below with wool, I'll probably just kill all of these sheep. I'm not going to need them again. And if I do ever need them again, I can just get them in place. So that should reduce a lot of the lag around here just by killing all of these sheep, because it's kind of unbearable sometimes. Like, I was trying to build this melon farm, like blocks kept disappearing and then coming back. I couldn't fly, like when I go to fly it just doesn't jump like that. It usually takes a few attempts. So I really just need to like remove all of these sheep at some point, and hopefully that will sort the lag issue out. But for right now there's not really too much I can do, so I'm just going to have to deal with the lag. That's actually the main reason I'm building this farming district anyway, so all the laggy projects are in this place instead of over near the base, because I really don't want to be lagging all of the time when I'm at the base. But anyway, I've got the melon farm over on this side, and then I want to do the same thing over on this side but for the pumpkins. So it's just going to be the exact same design, but obviously with pumpkins instead. So I'll use orange glass, and I've actually got some melons up here. I don't really know how I feel about that, and I can actually put some melons up on this side as well now. I just didn't have enough to do that before. But I'm actually quite happy with how this build turned out. I didn't plan it on creative or anything like that. I just had a design in mind and then I came over and built it. And I think it turned out quite nice. So what I'm going to do now is build the pumpkin farm. And I'm going to show you how I've built it. Okay, so I've just marked out the corners of the farm. And you can build this thing as long as you want, but mine is 29 blocks I think. So from this block here to the block just before that pillar there is 29 blocks overall. But like I said, you can build this as long as you want. It could be like 5 blocks long, it could be like 100 blocks long. But I just wanted to fit it in this space here. And all I've done here is dug out a little thing around the outside. And this is where the minecart rails are going to go with the minecart hopper on top. And if I just head over to the melon side quickly, you can see that where the grass is, this is where the melons grow. And underneath that, that is where the minecart hopper is, and it just goes around in a circle. So I've got the same on the other side. So the minecart hopper just keeps going around and around, and then it drops off any of the items in the chest. So now I just need to get the rails in place. So I'm going to put a hopper going into this chest. So every time the minecart hopper comes over these rails that are going to be here, it will drop any of the items off in the chest, or into the hopper, and then they get put into the chest. So I'm going to put a redstone block on each side here. And I'll do the same over on the other side. So one right here, and then here as well. And I think I need one more over in the centre. So I'm going to put all the powered rails down, and you can just see how bad the lag is here. So if I put the powered rails down all the way to the other side, there should be some dead rails right in the centre somewhere. So I can put another redstone block about here, and then this will power all of the rails. So I can just put a redstone block there. And then all of these are now powered, so I can do the same on this side. I'll put a redstone block right here, and then this will power all of the rails on this side as well. And now if I put the minecart hopper down, it will just go around and around forever. I will have to check on it now and again, because I don't know if this happens on Java, but on Bedrock Edition, these sometimes just randomly stop or disappear completely. So I will have to just check it now and again just to make sure it's still here. But every time it's got some items in, it will go over this hopper over here and drop all of them in the chest. So what I can do now is put down all of the grass where I'm going to plant the pumpkins. So I'm not going to put them over the top of the rails yet. And that's because later on I need to place some pistons above, so I'm going to have to like stand here to place them above. But I am going to put these ones here, so just grass from one side all of the way to the other side, and then I've just got the grass on the other side as well. So I'm going to put water in the middle, but I can't put it here because of the rails below. So I'm just going to block this off, and I can still plant the crops on here, even though there's not going to be water behind it. So I can just do this on the other side as well, and then I actually need to go and get a water bucket to fill all of this in with water. Okay, I've got the water in place now, and what I'm going to do is just put some half slabs above this. And the reason for this, you don't really need to do it, but when you use a hoe on this land here, it makes it a little bit shorter than one block. It's like a tiny little bit smaller than one block, and you can actually see through into the water otherwise. So over on this side, if you go over, you can see that it's a little bit shorter than one block, so you can see the top of the spruce slabs right there. And you don't really need to do it, like place the slabs there, but it's kind of annoying when you don't, or at least I think it is. So I'm going to place all of the slabs here, and all of these are going to be waterlogged. So I'm just going to use the hoe on all of this dirt all the way down to the other side. And then I can plant the pumpkins, and these things do actually take quite a while to grow. So I've just brought along some bone meal so I can speed it up a little bit. Okay, so next up I can start on the redstone, and this is actually very simple. So I just got to place some observers facing into all of these stems all of the way down. So I'll do it all the way down there, and then I'll do the same on the other side as well. And next up I can just come down here on top of the rails, and I need to place some pistons facing down next to all of these observers. So again, I'll do this all the way down to the other side, and I'll do it on the opposite side as well. And to finish off the redstone, all you've got to do is place the redstone dust on top of all of the pistons and all of the observers. So now anytime the observer picks up a signal from the stem, it will give the redstone dust an update, which will update the piston, and it will harvest it. It will land on the dirt, which is going to be placed here right in front of the stems, and then the minecart hopper, wherever it is, will come around and pick up any of the items. Okay, so I actually recorded a little clip and then realised afterwards that I wasn't actually recording. So yeah, that's not very good, but you can see the farm works here. So all of the redstone is in place. I've done a little bit of the decorating, not much of it, but I think I'm going to do this off camera. I did place the grass in place, so this is where all of the pumpkins are going to grow. And then I've got some sea lanterns underneath these stairs, and this is just to light the place up a little bit. The aim for this entire area is to have it spawn proof without spamming torches all over the place. So every time I get an opportunity like this to hide a little bit of lighting, I always just make sure to do it, just so nothing can spawn around here. But anyway, I think what I'm going to do now is finish the decorating off camera. It's just going to be the same as this one over here, but with like orange glass and then pumpkins up there instead. So it shouldn't take too long. And then once I've done that, I'm going to stay AFK for a little bit, and hopefully I've got enough time to get all of the pumpkins and melons that I'm going to need today to check off all of the items from the checklist. So I'm going to need a few stacks of both. I don't know how long that's going to take. I don't really know how efficient these farms are going to be. But once I've checked off all of the items from the checklist, I'll probably never really need pumpkins or melons anyway, so it's not really a big deal if these farms aren't very efficient. And like with most of the farms in this area, I usually go for like the aesthetics over the efficiency. And that's just because it's a single player world. I don't use a lot of these items anyway, so if I ever needed a lot of one of these items, I would build a much bigger farm. So I will be back once I've got a finished project to show here. Okay, I went ahead and I finished a pumpkin farm as well. And I think these things actually look really nice. I was doing a little bit of experimenting up here. So I've got this stripped spruce log going all the way down. It's the same over on the melon side as well. But I just put some pumpkins here and I think this actually looks better. So I think what I'm going to do once I've got enough pumpkins is replace all of this stripped spruce with some pumpkins on this side. And then of course on the other side I'm going to do the same with melons instead. And I think that's going to look really good once it's done. But at the moment I just don't have enough pumpkins or melons for that. I did stay AFK in the centre for about an hour. I think it was a little bit more. And I've got about a stack of pumpkins in here. So 54 in there. And I didn't check the melons yet. So we've got about 7.5 stacks in there. So I'm going to need quite a lot more if I'm going to check all of the items off from the checklist today. But I don't really have time to just sit here staying AFK because there's a few other things that I want to do. So I think what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to come back to this later on. I'm going to stay AFK overnight, and then hopefully in the morning I'll have just a little bit of time to record the outro, and that's when I'll check all of the items off the checklist. So I'm going to leave this project for now, and I'm going to go and work on a different project, and it's actually just over here. So this is the Axolotl Farm that I started a few episodes ago now, and I actually left all the shulker boxes with the materials over here, because I never actually finished this thing. So I got all of the axolotls in place, in their little holes in the ground, and I did the walls and I got a little bit of storage over there, but I just never did the roof because I wasn't sure what to do. But I think I've got a bit of an idea for what to do for the roof now, and I'm going to be using some dark prismarine I think. So I'm going to do this project next, and then I've got one more thing that I want to do after this. Okay, so I went ahead and finished the ceiling down there, and I also just cleaned up a little bit around here. I had a few shulker boxes around just from the projects I've been working on, so I just cleared it all away and took it back over to the base. But if I head down here I can show you what I managed to do. So you can see the design that I went for. It's not a very complicated one, but I just wanted to get a roof in place. And if anyone remembers when I actually built this room, I don't have any room to work with up here. So if I break through this, this is actually the floor above where the map art district thing is. So I didn't have any extra space to work with, so there's not really too much I could have done here. But this is what I've gone for, and I do like how it looks. And then I've got the blue axolotl face over on this wall. So again, if you didn't watch the video where I built this room, you won't know what this is for. So basically, I've got all these axolotls and I'm going to keep breeding them up. And the whole point of this is to get a blue one. I actually want to get a few blue ones. But once I get one, I can actually go ahead and build a room for it, and I can't get out here. When I do finally get one, it's probably going to take a while. I think the chance is like 1 in 1,200 or something like that. I'm going to build a room through here just for the blue ones. And I think once you've got one, there's more chance of you getting a second one. And then if you've got 2 of them and you breed them together, you've got a 100% chance to get a baby blue one. I think that's how it works anyway, but I could have just made that up. But yeah, this is another project pretty much completed now, apart from the room through here, but I can't do that at the moment anyway. And I do have some tropical fish over here. I'm not really sure where to put these. Obviously these are to breed up the axolotls, so I might make an extra storage room somewhere just to save all of the tropical fish. And I probably will need to make a farm for these eventually because it's kind of hard to get a lot of these. But anyway, I think the next time you see this project on camera will be when I've actually got a blue axolotl. So it could be quite a while before I come back here in a video. But if I head up here, I've got an updated map of the district. So I'll just make sure there's no creepers nearby. So this is the updated map with all of the updated farms. You can see the pumpkin and melon farm over on the right hand side. And overall I've got 10 farms in here. It's starting to get a little bit crowded towards the top half, but there's still a lot of room around here to the bottom left that I can use. And then there's a big area over there that I want to use as well. So there's still a lot of farms I can fit in here. I want to try and get at least like 25 or 30 farms overall. Of course there's going to be a lot of small ones that I can fit in here, but I do want to get a few more big ones like the sheep farm in here as well. Okay, so now that's done, there's one more thing that I want to do to end off today's episode. I did this in the last episode as well, so I want to go for a quick netherite mining session. See, I've got 15 blocks, 7 ingots and 1 netherite scrap left over. I do want to start trying to do this once every episode again. I used to do it once every episode and then I just kind of took a little bit of a break. Mining for netherite does just get a little bit boring over time, especially when you're just doing it all the time. But I'm going to try to get back into it, see if we can get 1 session done per episode. And then eventually I'll have enough netherite to get the full stack, and then I can check it off the checklist over there. So I'm just going to get all of my gear together. I'll head down to the nether and we'll do a quick session before I end today's episode. I managed to find 21 ancient debris from that quick session, which is a little bit below average, but it's not too bad. So I think I can make 5 ingots here. So I'll put one of the scrap away and then I can make 5 ingots. And I've got 7 in here already, so I can make another block as well. So this is the 16th block. I think it might actually be the 17th. I'm not sure if I've got one in a chest over here. I'm just going to quickly check this because I think I put one in the chest quite a while ago and I always seem to forget. So I do actually have 17 blocks overall on the world because I've got the ones in here as well, so I do have 17 blocks towards the full stack that I need to get. But anyway, it's actually the next day since I recorded the start of the episode. So I recorded it all yesterday and I'm just doing the outro today. So I've added all of these items to the checklist because I stayed AFK overnight. So I managed to get loads of pumpkins and melons and stuff. So I've checked off all 8 of these items here. And I've also checked off the jack-o'-lanterns which are in the chest up here as well. So that's 9 more items that I checked off from the checklist. It's not like loads of progress, but I think it's a decent amount of progress for one episode. And I've actually found out that next week I'm going to be in the same situation again, where I'm only going to have one day to record like an entire episode. I might be able to do the outro on a different day like I'm doing today, but I'm really not going to have too much time to record next week either. But I think after next week I'm going to have quite a lot of time again because over Christmas I won't be working as much, so I should get more time to record episodes over the next few weeks. But I just want to know like some ideas for what I could do in the next episode, like what farm I could build or what I could do in a short amount of time. So if anyone's got any ideas, just let me know in the comments. And I hope everyone enjoyed the video and I'll see you all next time.